The case, investigators are saying that the on-ground probe is nearing completion as police now focus on strengthening the case through digital and forensic evidence. According to officials, the Pune Rural Police are actively cross-verifying physical findings with digital trails, including CCTV footage and mobile phone records, to build a clearer picture of what led to the alleged murder of Ketan Agarwal. Now remember that investigators are also reconstructing the sequence of events in reverse, starting from the time of the incident and working backwards to trace the movements of the accused in the days leading up to the crime. Police are saying that the case has revealed that Sia got engaged to Ketan on February 19th, with a wedding scheduled later this year. However, investigators allege that she was already in a relationship with co-accused Ketan Chaudhary since October last year and did not want to go ahead with the marriage. With that, in fact, let's take a look at what exactly is a reverse timeline that the police is trying to recreate, because this will be of importance to this entire case, and how the police and the investigators are trying to probe this case will be of utmost importance. So let's see what a reverse timeline is. The first step that the police does is that it revisits the exact crime scene location, and the second step is that the accused reenacts their claimed sequence of events. So what happens is the police have arrested the main accused, they take them back to the scene of the crime. So in this case, they take them back to the Lohagad Fort from where Ketan was allegedly pushed off. Now remember that the police then start recreating the entire sequence of events based on the statements of the co-accused. So they say that this happened, and that's how the police try to recreate the entire scene. Step 3 is that a dummy which matches the victim's body weight is brought in, and step 4 is investigators verify how the act unfolded. So remember that just 2-3 days ago, the police had in fact reconstructed the entire crime scene with first they did it with Sia Goyal. Then when Ketan Chaudhary, I beg your pardon, Ketan Chaudhary was taken to the crime scene, they took a dummy with them as well. And this dummy actually matched the weight of the victim, and then they recreated the entire scene where the dummy was pushed off the fort to try and see how the crime was actually undertaken. Now result, what's result 1? Now method tests accused version against physical evidence. So method 1 is that whatever the accused is saying, their statement will be conducted first, and then they will also compare it to the physical evidence that is present there. And result 2 is that this will help establish accurate manner of death. So remember that the accused are saying that Ketan actually slipped and fell. So the police will try to ascertain how much of that is true as compared to pushing Ketan off the cliff, and that's what the such reverse timelines help the police and investigators in. Let's also look at another result that comes out of a reverse timeline, which confirms the roles played by each accused. So this will obviously help establish what was Sia doing, what Ketan was actually doing in this entire case. Result 4 is that cross-check statements with the crime scene. So obviously it will help verify whatever statements have been made by the accused in this entire case. So this reverse timeline actually helps the authorities determine if the statements made by the accused are true or false. It will also help understand how such a crime has been undertaken, because if Ketan has slipped and fell, what's the injury that can occur to the dummy that they carried to the crime scene for the reconstruction, or if he was pushed off, what kind of injuries are reported, then they would compare it to the evidence that they already have. Well, let's go across to my colleague Shweta Verma, who's joining us live on the broadcast. She's been tracking this case since day one, and she will get us, in fact, the latest details on this case. Shweta, obviously now we have the investigators saying that, the investigation on the ground is in its final stages. We have seen the police try to reconstruct the crime with both of the main accused in this case. They went to the crime scene, to Lohagad Fort twice, and we saw them recreate this entire scene. We saw them record statements, and now they just have to corroborate all the evidence that has been conducted, all the evidence that has been collated, along with the digital evidence that has come to the surface. Shweta.
Well, that's absolutely right. In fact, the investigation is at the critical stage. This is what the Pune Rural Police team has to say about the Ketan Agarwal murder case. Having said that, we have seen that past week the crime scene recreation was done, primary and secondary. That's with the accused and co-accused, Sia Goyal and Chetan Chaudhary, respectively. Post this, we have also been seen that during Panchnama that was done at Sia Goyal's residence, they retrieved a mobile phone. However, the defense had to say that the mobile phone was no longer in use by Sia Goyal. It was the mobile phone which she used a year back. However, when the data was retrieved, we have seen the Snapchat, in fact, the conversation that has gone viral where Sia Goyal goes to the extent of saying that the marriage is never going to happen. Clearly, now the police has collected circumstantial evidences plus the digital trail of both Sia and Chetan in this particular case, where they have been planning and discussing about the alleged murder that they were going to carry on 18th of June at Lohagad Fort. Additionally, we also understand that as the investigation is at very concrete stage, the police also states that now the investigation is going reverse in the manner that it will be starting from what happened, what exactly transpired at Lohagad Fort. Then on 17th of June, where they met at the cafe, they discussed everything for an hour from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at Third Wave Cafe at Market Yard, Pune. What happened on 16th of June? Similarly, they have to trail back till May to understand that what exactly was happening. Reverse is one solution that they could piece by piece collect all the missing data or the missing link in this entire case. So clearly, important stage of the investigation where the police has already collected the evidences in the form of physical evidences as well as the digital evidences. They are corroborating the evidences that would be produced in the court once the judicial custody of both Sia Goyal as well as Chetan Chaudhary ends in 14 days.
Right. I'll request you to please stay on with us.